pretty is that?
Jumping into October. Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday to you. Thanks for waking up with us on AMHQ early. I'm meteorologist Jordan Steele.
My meteorologist Felicia. Carfagno, let's get your day started with a look at our top story.
Oh yeah, we got to talk about.
That's a little cool for my liking.
No
but,
way.
you know,
64 is great.
Oh, to each their own. Welcome back to AMHQ early. I'm meteorologist Felicia Combs.
And I'm meteorologist Jordan Steele. All right, let's take a look at weather going on across the nation. We've got. I feel like we have yet to have a slow weather day over the past several months, and you know what, we're in it again. We got a tropical entity that we're watching. Could become our next cyclone. It's got a 60% chance of forming.
Yeah, and their Western Caribbean model still not super sure what they want to do with that. What is definitely happening, that front. Rain to the northeast.
And the nice mid-60s for a lot of you, all right? Another cold front's going to be bringing in another shot of cold air. That's going to be progressing towards the end of the week for the eastern half of the country.
Not the story at all as you look out west, though. Still dealing with those fire concerns. And the problem is not just the fire concerns, but also the heat building back in, which does not help at all.
If I could, I would take what we're experiencing, give it to them so they could at least get some cooler weather and, of course, help with the fires. But that's just not happening. We do want to give you a live look right now at I-95.
Yeah, Jordan, you mentioned it, staying active here across the northeast. While you'll get a little bit of a break later on today, you're going to have more rounds of rain to come. Generally, what you're seeing, 1 to 2 inches of rain, but a lot of New England dealing with those drought conditions. So this really isn't terrible news. You don't like to get it all at once and with really gusty winds, but we'll take what we can get at this point. Across Hartford, you can see we'll have rounds of rain, but certainly some breaks. Providence, as we head through the latter morning hour, you're going to have those waves of rain as well. Now, we are going to start to see kind of the intensity and the frequency of the showers thinning out as we head into the later morning hours across Connecticut. But looking at a place like, say, Boston, you are really stuck closer to where you're going to have more of that oomph. So through the later morning, you've got some heavier rain moving through, and then you can see it just kind of keeps coming. Certainly some places that are flood prone could be dealing with some of that. The good news in Boston, you'll see it clearing out later. So Jordan, kind of messy this morning, but a better afternoon for most.
Yeah, and you know,
nitrogen. So what's your pick? You want the oxygen molecule reaction or the nitrogen molecule reaction?
Well, the green would probably be more visible, but seeing a purple would be pretty unique too, right? I mean, just the fact of seeing any of it, I think, is pretty rad anytime we get these to move through. So that's happening right now. We do want to move on, though, to Grand Rapids, Michigan. Too many clouds in your way.
Morning across a good chunk of New England. You guys have been dealing with that rain, but not just the rain, the very gusty winds as well. Take a look at the combination of the future radar and future wind gusts. When you're talking about 50, 60 mile per hour wind gusts, that is enough to overturn a tractor and trailer. We've actually already seen that on 95 this morning. Now, I'm not sure if it is. Completely weather related, but still nonetheless give yourself a little extra time. You can see these winds remaining gusty, but they do start to kind of die off a little bit as we head into the afternoon. I say that very loosely because still when you're talking about 20-25 mile per hour winds, that is gusty. That's going to influence the driving of if you're on two wheels, if you are driving a higher profile vehicle, but also we're dealing with the wet roads as well. You can see looking along I-90 here, Detroit, you're going to have some of that rain around, some storms possible this afternoon. And here's the thing, we could see some heavy rain at times. We're getting a few showers hanging around right now, but we're certainly going to start to see that chance for heavier rain picking up for places like Detroit and Fort Wayne as we head into the second part of the day. So lots going on here, but also some pretty cool stuff to talk about well above us. Right, exactly. Fire in California wine country, the Zog fire 200 miles north outside Redding. Together, the two blazes are approaching 100,000 acres in size. Only the glass fire has any containment, just 2%. Dozens of homes and other buildings have burned. 3 people have lost their lives. And the problem is that wildfire threat is actually increasing as we head through the next several days. We already have 72 active fires burning in what has been a just treacherous season so far. It's like you just can't get a break out west. The problem is we're also not really getting any relief from Mother Nature either. For today, that fire potential you can see down through, of course, portions of the Central Valley, but into Southern California as well. And then as we look out toward the high plains, we're going to start to see those Santa Ana winds kicking in. We're entering into that season as well, so that's a problem. And then, of course, we have the heat that's returning. It's just adding insult to injury. Heat advisories up and down the California coast as those temperatures are still going to be well above average, which you factor that in with the smoke and you factor that in with the stress of the fires burning, and you have a really stressful situation, especially for the vulnerable populations out there. So let's take a look at the wind gust forecast. You'll notice we are going to start to see those winds gusting and picking up as we head into the afternoon. They die down a little bit then, and then they pick right back up. So we're really just not getting any help from Mother Nature. Weekend, because your weekend is in day, everybody. Let's talk about what's going on. We've got rain around the Great Lakes and into New England. At least same story for you guys. Scattered storms in Miami each day. 69 in Denver, a big change from the heat that you were dealing with for a little while there. 92 in LA, much above average across the West Coast. Rain once again as we head into Friday for New York, and then Saturday we'll see beautiful conditions in the middle part of the country.
So bring your good